Hi, everyone, and welcome once again to one of our Hobby Memorial Library and Mayborn Science Theater night sky tours with our CTC astronomer, Warren Hart. Hey, Warren.
Hello, hello.
Well, you've got September and a little bit of August to talk about, so I'm going to let you take the floor.
Okay, I'd like for us to look at the August calendar, and it'll be the second page of it. So when you bring that up,
Okay.
Cindy, here we come.
Wait. I'm getting there.
Okay.
Had something in my way.
There it is on the right, down there
Yes.
below. There you go.
Yes. All
Okay,
righty.
let's scroll on it to the second page of it, if you will. Very good. And there we are right here today, 12 o'clock noon to 1 o'clock. There's the Facebook presentation. But I want to draw your attention over there to the right. And if you can scroll there, just like that, Cindy, thank you. Notice in red, I have put in that at 12:26 Saturday morning, that planet Mars, that's when it begins to rise and it's at a position called the west quadrature. Don't worry about that at the moment on that. But notice that I have there that the planet Mars is leading the sun. So you have then, if you get up early Saturday morning, and from 12:26 on to sunrise and beyond, then the planet Mars will be coming up to your left on the eastern horizon. And you should be able to identify it. Planet Mars, it has a distinctive color from the other planets. And if anybody has an idea or remembers what that distinctive color is, call it in and let us know what color to look for. And then notice the next thing at 3:17 in the morning, the moon is at what it's called in the phase, its new location. And I just put it there because that is the orientation the astronomers use for designating the beginning each time of the orbit of the moon around as it goes around Earth. And so it's at the new position. And here on Earth, if we look toward the sun, we would have the moon in between us and the sun. So in reality, you cannot see the moon because we would be looking at its dark side, its shadow side. And so the only time that will be significant will be in a few days from now when we have our first total solar eclipse and the moon will come in front of of the sun, and we will see a black circle, if you will, dot there going across and eclipsing the face of the sun, and that's when you have a solar eclipse. The other thing, so you've had in Saturday morning, getting up early Saturday morning, you can watch and look at the planet Mars. Then that afternoon, same Saturday afternoon, and in the evening, notice there we have planet Mercury. Now I indicate there that planet Mercury will rise at 11:04 in the morning. Well, you're not going to be able to see it because the sun is out. Okay, Warren, why did you put it in there? I want you to look on further down there. It's at a point called the easternmost elongation. That's another reference point to it. And it's a little over 27 degrees away from the sun. When it gets at this angular distance from the sun, then we are able to actually see it in the sky, in the evening sky. And read on further down, it says it's best viewed after sunset, and sunset is at 8:30. So from 8:30 on, and then you notice Mercury will set on the western sky at 9:15. So from 8:30 to 9:15, you will be able to see the planet Mercury with your eyes, and you have binoculars or a telescope, you'll be able to see it even in more detail and better. But I wanted to point these two things out, the two planets, early in the morning before sunrise, and in the evening after sunset. And that's when you will be able to see these two planets. And Mercury is, because it's so close to the sun, and when it gets an angular distance too close to the sun, then we cannot pick it out as far as being able to see it visually here. But anyway, I wanted to point it out. And the other thing, this coming Saturday at 5:30 for an hour is my monthly presentation of next month's sky, and it's September. And I'm going to give you uh, an early look at that because that's what we're going to talk about today. So thank you, Cindy, about bringing up the August calendar. So now let's go on and let's get into our September calendar, and we'll be able then to start going through and letting people know what to look for on into September. And here we are. And I just have a couple of things over there on Sunday, and it's just as a notification. The sun happens to be in the constellation of Leo the Lion. We cannot see it, but we would understand that's, if you're keeping track, that's where it is. And the moon is in its lotus here, it's in its waxing crescent phase. And well, let's see. We think about what I mentioned to you in the August calendar. We noticed there that it was going to be the new moon. So what happens right at that instant of the new moon in its precise position? It begins to we begin to get more and more of the crescent of the moon that's visible. And so as it increases, the other term we use with that, we call an Old English term that it is waxing. It is growing in size, in strength, and that's the idea that what we're talking about. So let's go on, if you will, to September and keeping track for us. And you notice on the first day of September, there is an indication, I've written it in red, that how many days until our total solar eclipse. So I'll be putting that on the first day of each month and other, when it works out, other intermediate dates. In fact, there's another one that I'll have on here. And to help, I put there for the first that to access the CTC libraries astronomy library guide, and Cindy has it here. And why don't you talk them through uh, what it is and how to get to it?
Okay. Um, so you guys go to the library page, go all the way down to you see research study guides and astronomy and science theaters right there. And if you want to know down to the second, how long before the eclipse, it's right there. So our countdown.
Very good. Okay, and a lot of things on there. You
Oh, you
you
want
could
me to show the
spend a
rest?
whole day on there.
Yeah, the calendars, the monthly calendars, the maps, we have films, astronomy, books and references, fun activities, and past night sky tours, information, really cool documents, and the a lot of moon and sun stuff. So we have a
Good.
lot of that fun stuff in there.
Very good. Thank you, Cindy. And so also on Thursday, the 1st, in the morning, there at 9 o'clock, something called the equation of time. And you notice it is at plus minus 0 minutes. What I'm saying is that your uh, position of the sun at 9 in the morning is in sequence with, if you happen to have, or either having one yourself or could go and see one, a sundial. They are both in sequence at that time. So that's what it's pointing out for us. Well, let's go on to Saturday the 3rd. And we notice here, what is it, at 1 in the afternoon? We are then at another location for the moon, and it happens to be what? Our first quarter, because remember, go back to the August calendar, on that Saturday, we talked about it was a new moon. So it's gone, and Saturday will be a first quarter moon, and that's when it looks in the evening sky. As you look at it, it looks like the moon is half and half. The right side will be illuminated, and we see the reflection off the surface of the moon from the sunlight from the sun, and the left side is its dark side, and no sunlight there. Well, here's our first of 7 constellations, and this is Pisces Australis. And we can go to that, if you would, for us, Cindy, Pisces Australis.
I'm
And
getting there,
as
but
a
you know what? I
reminder,
didn't have them in order.
yes, very good.
I forgot to put them in order, so we'll be playing around back and forth.
That's all right. So Pisces Australis, and for reminder for those who as know this, but for the new people that have come on, the name, scroll it back down so we can see the name, Pisces Australis. Every constellation is, its basic name is in Latin. We'll say the universal scientific language. So Pisces Australis, and I have in there also the phonetic way to pronounce it. And it's, if we would read it the way the Latin is, it would be fish south. But as we say, and we put it in the way we would want to talk, it's the southern fish. And those 3 letters, PSA, are the ID letters you would find in a book, or something that's listing the constellations and they don't list its full name. There's a 3-letter designation for that constellation. The other thing also, just out of uh, information on it, notice it is the 55th brightest constellation. And the constellation, now we can scroll down just a little bit, Cindy, that is that white area in the sky that was designated back in about 1930-ish, 30 plus, of the astronomers setting, and we'll say they surveyed the sky and they put boundaries on a spherical region in the sky of what will be called a certain constellation. So this white area is Pisces Australis. And there you see then, there's the diagram, and I have numbers for each of the stars, and you see off on the left, number 10 and that happens to be the brightest star in Pisces Australis. And the only way we can designate that on a piece of paper or a flat board or anything, how which one is brighter than the others, the brighter they are, their magnitude, we make the circle, the black circle, larger. That's all that means. It does not mean necessarily that's the largest star of the 10 that are designated. It may be a different one, but the large circle indicates that is the brightest star in that constellation. And if you scroll down, Cindy, let's go to another page. There's the list of them, and there's the numbers, and we can see all that. And you go down and let's find number 10. That's down there. Name of it is Fomalhaut, and it has a Greek designation. It's the Alpha Pisces Austrini, and when it's in a genitive form, then the Latin changed to that. Notice it is in the dark, it's the easternmost of the stars listed. And there we go to the next, it's visual magnitude, that's eyeball magnitude that we look, and it's the brightest. So this shows the indication, what we have on the map, that's the largest black circle indicating that. And also it happens to be the closest there. And then for you, if you're wanting to learn more of the sky, I also include the bordering constellations, starting with like the face of a clock in the clockwise order with noon, 12 o'clock, if you want to call it, up at the top, and then you would circle clockwise around it. And then there's some interesting information. There's the ecliptic, a description, and the Tropic of Capricorn, and some more information about Fomalhaut there. And then the last part is if you are wanting to view all of the constellation, let's say here, we know that here at the planetarium at this latitude here in the county, and for us, we can see it. But you have a friend that calls up and also wants to, what are you looking at? And you tell them, well, I want to look at it too. And you can ask them, where are you? And if they know their latitude, if they are too far north, and you can't go too far south because you notice that's the South Pole, but then that gives you the region, the across the Earth that you have to be in to be able to see all of the constellation. Let's scroll back up to the very first page, Cindy. We have two things, the ecliptic and the Tropic of Capricorn. Keep going on up a little bit more, and there you have them. Up in the upper right corner, there is the ecliptic. Now, when I say that word, maybe an astronomical word comes into mind, and then on that, and notice it's at an angle going up, and probably it goes down too, I'm sure. But then, just for reference, there is the Tropic of Capricorn, where it is down to the south. And the description on that second page, and you would be able to read it at your leisure, that's how far south the sun looks in the sky at high noon, if you will, overhead. It will be down that far in the southern sky uh, or when it's on the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, let's go back to the calendar and let's see what else we have. And that's the end of our first half week. And let's go to the second week. Oh, I have put in some additional information about the total solar eclipse. On the 4th of September, we have 19 months to go until the total solar eclipse. And you're going to get tired of this. I hope not, as we draw closer to it. And we have another constellation for us. It is Cepheus, the king of the mythical country of Ethiopia. You will see if you look in listings of that, there is the king, the queen, and the daughter, and they all say the king of Ethiopia, the queen of Ethiopia, the daughter of Ethiopia, or the princess, and you say, oh, and you're thinking of over there in Eastern Africa. No, this is mythical Ethiopia. So let's take a look at Cepheus, if you would please, for us, Cindy. Notice here, and no, just leave it just like that. There it is, Cepheus, that's the Latin, if you will, and it's the king of mythical Ethiopia. And then I mentioned also on the other one that we had, this Pisces austrinus, this one is the 22nd brightest. So it's not why it's, well, it's pretty good. It's a little brighter than Pisces austrinus, and it's also the 26th largest of all of that white area in the sky, the spherical area. Total all that up of all the entire sky, it's the 26th largest, we'll say, segment in the sky. Now scroll down just a little. Okay, good. And there is our North Pole. And to make it a talking astronomy and celestial, there we say it's the northern celestial pole for that. And you can see here with the size of the picture that it is, there's a circle on there, a black circle of a star that's not quite on the North Pole. And some of you may guess or know what that star's name might be. If you do, call it in and let's see what you remember. Now, we have some additional things here on Cepheus. So scroll down just a touch and we'll stop. And they're good. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh, you
Go
mean
back. Yeah, a little more. There, right there. That's fine. Just like that. I have included there, there's the outline of making the stars like the king. There's his mouth. He's got a ponytail, and then also he's got his crown on there. And it's a triangle. Uh, some of us who are old enough remember being in school and we got, if we messed up, there was a short stool to sit on, not in the bathroom, but a short stool to sit on over in the corner, and the teacher would go and get something and for you to put it on your head. Who remembers what the name of that was put on your head? And it looks something like this. Well, anyway, let's go on. Inside, if you will, of just above his mouth, there I have something that's the NCSA. Well, it's 4 letters, so it's not government. And now, and we also notice I have a line up there, and I've indicated that's our planetarium's northern horizon. And there's how far north it is, the degrees and minutes, if you will, of there. So when you look to the north, if we were looking to the north to find Cepheus, and we would see that that is our northern horizon. And if Cepheus was right in line with us at that time, guess what? We would not see the southern part of him. Those 3 stars there, star, well, we can say 4, 5, 8, 9, and 10, we would not see. They would be below the northern horizon. But everything above that horizon is available and visible every night of the year. And so that's how far from the North Pole, how far south from the North Pole can we see what's in the northern sky. And that's what that means there. So let's scroll down to the second page, Cindy. Keep going. Third page. Yeah, right there. Hold on. There's that. And notice number 5. I have it in red. It is the garnet star. There's its name and goes over. There's some other information. And it happens to be the largest star of the constellation. Oh, okay. But it's not, does not have the largest circle. Notice just above it, number 3, Alderamin, and notice over there in boldness, its visible magnitude, that with your eyes as you look in the sky, it happens to be the brightest. Now, it will be indicated just a little bit different in the size of that circle. And then there's some other things, and I have more stuff on down. Scroll down toward the bottom of the page, Cindy. Now let's bring up interesting information. And there's the bordering constellations. And there is a description of what that NCSA is. And so that you could see that. And then I have indicated some more, the information again. There is the planetarium's northern horizon, 58.9 degrees north, and the latitudes for you to be able to see all of Cepheus. And notice on Cepheus, you cannot go too far north, but you can go too far south. And that's the complete opposite when we were looking at Pisces austrinus. If you went too far north from Pisces austrinus, you could not see it, but you could not go too far south. You would go to the South Pole, and here the North Pole. Well, very good. Let's go back to the calendar, Cindy, and let's see what else that we have on there. And that now we come to Tuesday the 6th, and that's a busy night for us. Notice there happens to be 3 separate constellations. That is a good night for you to be able to look for them. First one is Aquarius, the water bearer. The next one is the crane, and I put in purposefully so that we're not thinking of something mechanical. It's actually, that's the name of a type of bird. And then Lacerta, and that's the lizard. So let's go to our first one, Cindy. Let's go to Aquarius, and there it is. Same thing as at the top, Latin name, English name, and there you see brightness and how large is it and different things. And we have here for us, there is the outline of, if you will, the connecting with the green line of the stars to make Aquarius, carrying the water bag. And by legend there, those numbers down below there, starting with 16, 17, 18, 21, 2, 3, that's the water, some of the water that Aquarius, in running over to pour it on Earth, he sloshed the bucket there, container, and some water has already poured out. And that is by legend there. Interesting thing about Pegasus. He's got something going right through the middle of his head. What is that? Look over to the left and you will see the name of it, and there it is. the equator. And if you look outside of the map, you see the latitudes are on there, and that will give you an idea of what is the equator. And it's got another name, another word kind of hidden within it, just like you see there ecliptic, that has another name that's also in, inside of it. And then down at the bottom is where the water is spilled out. There's that Tropic of Capricorn again. And notice, look down just below the Tropic of the Capricorn. Look at the almost the very bottom. Why, there's Pisces australis, what we just talked about a little bit ago. So there you have. So that's the first of the three. Let's go back and let's get the second of the three. And the second of the three is going to be Grus, Grus. And I have on it the crane that's there. And it's the type of bird. And so there's bird. And this one is also, its position is unique. Uh, Notice that we have up at the top, there's the Tropic of Capricorn. So no, on the side over there, it says Pisces australis. So Grus is below Pisces australis. We're going further south. And you can tell by looking down below the area for Grus, there is the planetarium's southern horizon. Now, the difference means is when we look to the south, then everything beyond that horizon, we cannot see it because it's hidden by the surface of Earth. And so if you don't ever leave this latitude, if you stay here, you will never see any of those things that are down there. And one of the constellations we're going to talk about is down there, and it's mentioned as Tucana. And we'll see that. And how much can we see of Tucana that's available? So there we have, and we can scroll down to Grus as far as on the additional page and see it and keep going. And there we have, and I have information for you, the Tropic of Capricorn, what that is, the planetarium southern horizon, what that there, and then also that SCSA, what that means, and other information, and the latitude of where you have to be able to see all of it. And we are just barely in that because our latitude here at the planetarium is 31.1 degrees north. So we can, if you went north of here up, and I would say at least if you went up to Amarillo or up to Dalhart or up into northern Oklahoma, you're not going to see all of it. You can see part, but you're not going to see all of it. And that's what that refers to. Now we have one more on this day, and that should be Lacerda the lizard. And here is the lizard. And we're back up at the north part, and the same thing, just like we had with Cepheus the king. And here is our northern horizon. And the NCSA is the region that we will see every night of the year. And there is Lacerda. And we have something else that I was able to put in, scroll just a little bit. There is our latitude, our 31.1 degree latitude. And what that indicates is if you were outside and looked straight up over you in the sky, everything that's on that latitude is going to pass directly overhead at what we would call your zenith for us. And it's going to rise pretty well for us at due east coming up for us on there in a way. Well, actually, that's not correct, but it comes up from the eastern region of the sky, and it does when it reaches directly overhead. It's right at our latitude there. And then scroll down, as we see on the bottom, we have the Tropic of Cancer, which is the northern limit of the sun throughout the year. And we can see, go down and look at the page, the third page of it. Keep going, keep going.
I realized I
And
was
here we come.
unplugged. That's where I went.
And and we have here, there's the northern circumpolar spherical area and what it means, the northern horizon, our latitude, the Tropic of Cancer, and some other information that's there. Okay, busy day that Tuesday. So let's go back to the calendar and let's see if we get a break. Well, yeah, in a way. On Wednesday, we have the moon at its, what is this? Perigee. Is that like a pear and a pear tree? Perigee. Okay. See if you can, if you know, what does that mean? Perigee. Is that a new name for the pear tree or what? Call it in.
I know.
You know, but you're not going to tell yet, are you? We
No.
want to have somebody call in and tell us what they think what it is. Then let's go over to Saturday the 10th. Our moon is still orbiting us. It has passed around. It's now going to be in relation with us and the sun behind us. It's in what is called the full uh, full moon location. And if we had there the uh, waxing first quarter uh, of the moon, it has waxed completely as much as it can until it reaches a full moon, and then it's going to start waning. And what we have is the waning. It's decreasing in its uh, size if you are pointing it out. Okay, let's go down to the second page of the calendar. And we have here, now we have the constellation of Pegasus, the winged horse. So if you will pull that up for us, Cindy, pull, and also if
Let's
you
see if I
will
can find it.
pull up Pegasus, the constellation.
I'm getting there. Yeah.
There we
I
are.
can't believe I didn't have them in order for you.
Yeah, that's right. How about that? Okay, now Pegasus, notice it's the 75th brightest. Well, okay. It's not as bright as the other, but it's the seventh largest. It's getting up there pretty large on there. And for reference, there are 88 constellations, but there's 89 segments in the sky. And some of you who've been with us earlier this year know what I talked about. And you can call it in and say, I know, and uh, see if you remember. Okay, here we first of all, as we come down, here is our latitude, planetarium's latitude, 31.1. So when Pegasus comes to into us in the sky and be south of us, it's going to be very high in the sky. You're not going to look down at the southern horizon. You're going to look up as it goes overhead. And then there's the rest of it. I think there on the back end of him, hooked up where his tail would be, I think that's the rudder that he uses when he's flying. You remember he's a winged horse. I don't think that's part of his wings. To me, that looks like a rudder that helps him to steer left or right as he's going along. And there's the Pegasus, the horse. Look above it. Right there is Lacerta. Oh, okay. So we're getting an idea. Well, we got a bunch of different lines on here. We have our latitude come down. There's the Tropic of Cancer right in the middle of it. We go on down, and there is our ecliptic and our equator also. And if we could see there, and the constellation, remember we started out with Aquarius, the water bearer. Now we get a relation of where he is to the horse, up above to the lizard, and what's above the lizard, we keep going on up to Cepheus the king. So it's pretty well in a line, and that's the way I designate, and I want for you to have an idea on this. Now, while you are here, Cindy,
Mhm.
I want to draw everybody's attention to star number one. There's number one. Okay, now let's scroll down, Cindy, 2 pages to the information page. Keep going. Okay, hold on right there. Just keep it right there. Ideal. Notice number one, there's its name. It's number one Pegasus, and it happens to be, and I designated, it is the westernmost star for us in the constellation. Now, wait a minute, Warren. Oh, let's scroll up to the just the next page up. Go ahead, scroll back up to the middle page. Okay, hold on. You're telling me that number one is the westernmost star in the constellation? And I'm holding this paper in my hand, and that doesn't look westernmost to me. But I gently tell you, you're holding the paper in the wrong orientation. You should be holding the paper up over you. You see, when we look at a road map, we are standing on top of the road. We're standing on top of Earth. So we are look down on the road map, and we're above. Okay. But when we look in the sky, we are below what we see in the sky. And so we have to hold the map, which is up there, up over us. And then when you hold it up over us, and I say it's the westernmost there, and you hold, and it's getting ready. Now, let's scroll down to the last page. Keep going on down there, Cindy.
I'm
Please
getting
hold.
there.
Yeah, it's okay.
I
You'll
don't
get
know
it.
what happened. What?
The
Sorry, I'm getting
information
there.
page.
I'm getting there.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, when
There
all
we
else
go.
fails, page down.
Yeah, okay. Now you can take off the intro on
Yeah.
there. Okay, take that. Notice just above, if you will, on that, uh, we see here Pegasus and the information on this. And for some reason, here I left it off. I thought I put it on. Did you? Is this the new constellation I gave to you?
I think so. I
Okay.
hope so. Did I leave something out? I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. That's all right. Uh, we'll just go on then, and we'll get that next time. And let's scroll down. Yeah, this is the old page because I see the colors all there. So don't worry about that. That's not a problem. This one didn't get loaded in. The others did. So we'll pick a different one. Let's go back to the calendar. No problem at all, Cindy. The winged horse, and we go then. There's on Friday. There's the sun goes into it. Virgo, the Virgin, the Maiden, and the moon has moved on from the full moon to its three-quarter moon, and then we go to our next week, and we come to the moon, and it's now on something in apogee location in relation to its orbit, and they're with us on the sun. Then notice on Thursday, the 22nd, we're going to have, and Cindy, you want to explain for us the Facebook presentation. It's not going to be on a Wednesday, so go ahead and let them know.
Yeah, we had put another event earlier on before we put these dates on, and so we are going to be doing it on Thursday for next month, and then we'll go back to our Wednesdays after that. So
Yeah, it's not a
same
not a
place.
yeah, it's not a big problem. So okay, now same on Thursday the 22nd. Look down below on it at 8:03 p.m. The sun is in at its fall equinox location, and it says there that the summer ends and autumn begins at that point. And so, the way we designate seasons, and that was decided a long time ago, it is the junction and the use of the two lines in the sky that we put up there, the equator and the ecliptic. So when they're joined together, then that is an equinox. And there's another word that is inside that word, equinox. You should be able to figure out. And then let's go to Saturday the 24th. And notice I have up in the top something called a zodiacal light is visible in the northeast. And look down at the last week, and it's same thing. And it's going to be like that all the way through October the 7th. And the best view of this is over to the east, northeast, that's what it says, from just after the midnight of each night all the way up to sunrise. And you should see it, and it's going to look like a faint pyramid in the sky. Okay. Now, we'll talk about that when we get on the 24th in September. That's when I'll be doing the night sky presentation of October. So I'll be talking about the zodiacal light at that time. And then we're going to finish up this month. Here we have the moon, and it's going around. And here we have our new moon again. And so the orbit has completed and a new one starts. And I think what I'm going to do, I'll start at the new moon. There's another astronomical term that is brought in, and it comes from an astronomer who wanted to keep track of uh, when the new moon began an orbit of the moon, and how many had there been since some other time. And so they are numbered, and I'll put that on there for us. Then we have on Monday the 26th, the the giant planet Jupiter, the king of the planets. It says it is at opposition, and it's ideal for us, for you to be able to go out in the night sky, look, and you're going to see Jupiter all night there. And what that means in opposition is that the planet Jupiter is in the sky for us, opposite side of the sun. So here we would look, you're looking at Jupiter in the night sky, you're standing on Earth, and then behind you will be, if we would go around and could go around, look, will be the sun. So that's the order, if you will, in line of those. Now, our last constellation, let's go to Tucana, the toucan, and again, that's a bird. And here we have, there's its southern horizon, and the southern part that we cannot see. And so how much of Tucana can we see? Well, star number 2, and that's it. Unless you get in your car and or in your private Learjet or whatever, and you start flying south, then you're going to pick up more and more of it. And then you can begin to see some of those other things there as we go to the South Pole. Well, that's the calendar. Let's go back to it. And you see there the again, and the zodiacal light is going to continue on through to October the 7th. So in October, we will have some more of it. And notice on October the 1st is 555 days until the total solar eclipse. And then there is, again, to put up the link for you to be able to go to the Astronomy LibGuide. And if you don't mind, Cindy, let's
Mhm.
go to your LibGuide list that you had,
Okay.
and let's find here for those.
It
One other
is
piece of
on
information.
our library webpage.
Hmm.
And if you go all the way down, hit research study guides, and
Okay.
we are down here.
Okay. Click on that. Oh, you got
May,
it there. Just leave it like
yep.
that. That's ideal. And now go back to it again in the list.
Okay.
Now look over to the right and tell them what that number 566 means,
Oh,
Cindy.
that's how many people have viewed this. So this is one of our more popular LibGuide sites.
Okay.
So
Now that go up to the top of it. It's being displayed alphabetically, but there's another choice.
popularity.
Now where are
Look
we?
at that. You're number 4, Warren.
Okay, and what's ahead of us are some
Library
classes.
events calendar
Yeah,
in our ego closet. And then there is a very popular class.
yeah.
But on our events calendar, if you will hit that one, this is where all our next upcoming events are, guys, and it'll tell us when our next library, our night sky tour is with Warren.
Okay, and if you
So,
notice on that page there, the only one that's the Thursday is the September one.
yeah.
And
Yep.
you can go on that and either write down the dates or just remember to go to the library page and go for here for the astronomy LibGuide, the research page, and there you
Or
go to it.
yeah, we have on the bulletin boards also. We have flyers
Yes.
in all the buildings, most buildings. So
Okay. Well,
okay.
I got us about 4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Are there any questions that have come in from people that have been watching?
Anybody, Alyssa? I'm still I'm still sharing the screen. Did she say
Okay.
no in chat?
I haven't seen anything in chat. Okay,
Yes.
Cindy,
Sorry,
you're
I put
the
it in chat. I don't know if you can see it, but hold on just a second. Let me look it up again. We have a question.
okay.
It says, I'd like to know where I can find the dates for planets going invisible and visible in the night sky.
Okay, when you mean visible or invisible, you mean above, they have risen above the horizon. That's what that means. If you have an app on your phone, which is the best thing, and if you select that planet, and on there will be the information, and it will be give you the information on the specific sky that you have designated. For instance, on mine, and let me get real quick here for you, and I'll thumb it up. I don't punch it up, I thumb it up.
Do you need me to pull up
And
a
here we
map?
go. And here is, and I got the planet Mars, so I want to get this for information. And here's how it comes up first. Whoops, 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 whoops. Come on, get it up there, Warren. Like so. Now I'm going to go to another piece of information, and it's going to come and here that you're talking to or want them to look up for something. So I'm going to, I don't know, there may be already something that's available that's outside of having to get an app for a cell phone, but for you to come up with that. There's, I do not know of a book that lists um, in a precise designation to tell you when it rises and when it sets. It's going to be something like here in H.A. Ray's book, The Stars. Whoops. Like here, he has in this, there's a couple of pages of the planets that we can see with our eyes, the five basic, and that's he goes with let's see, I want to make sure that we get them right here. He's got Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. He does not list Mercury. It's too close to the sun. And at the time, Uranus, initially when these first started coming out, uh, Uranus can be visible, but it is so far that all it's going to look like is another teeny little star in a certain, wherever it is, in a constellation. And only if you knew enough what stars were to be in a constellation, and then you say, oh, there's a trespasser, here's this planet Uranus, and you knew that, or you were wanting to look at it, you would need to find Uranus. I would say you're going to have to rely on a telescope. You could on a set of very good binoculars, but it's going to be difficult. Good question.
Mhm. Yep, yep. All right. Any other
Or
questions, Alyssa? Well, while we're looking,
No, that's it.
oh, okay. Thank you for that. Let me
thank
show
you.
one more thing. Okay. All righty. Uh, okay. All right. And this is on our webpage also, our upcoming events. And you can also find it in this list. I just wanted to remind everybody what we have going on. Tomorrow, we have our Hope and Heroes photography exhibit meet and greet at the library. Come meet Mr. Douglas Spear. He has an photography exhibit that's only going on for like one more week here, and then it's going to be taken down. So make sure you get on over to see it. And it is about uh, as you can see in this flyer, it is about people wearing masks during the pandemic and how Texans were resilient and they just kept on doing their life even during the pandemic. And so come and meet the photographer. That'll be from noon to 2 p.m. Then we don't have it here, but next Monday and Tuesday, we have a Smash Brothers tournament. So come at noon to 1. So come on over for that. Then we also have an online Jeopardy, which will be Tuesday. And so go to the Welcome Week page of Central Texas College and go ahead and grab that registration form because that one's online. And then on Wednesday, we have an anime art speed contest. So come on over at noon to get involved in the contest. Also, next Monday, we have something called Philosophy and Popcorn. And this is a new bi-weekly event that we're going to be doing here at the library. Um, if you ever feel like you're not heard from your opinion, this is the place to go, because we're going to bring up some philosophical question, and we're all going to be sitting in a circle, and everybody gets a turn, 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how many people there are there, to go ahead and answer what is the answer for you. And the best part about this is there's no crosstalk, there's no questions, there's no debate. Everyone sits there and listen. And if you feel the need to say something, just eat the popcorn. Um, and if you feel like you're getting upset or worried, because everybody has totally different views, um, then just sit there and ask yourself, well, why are you getting angry? So this will be a safe place to finally say your opinion on something. So, and we also, we have a lot going on next week. Next week is next Wednesday is one of our endangered birds events. That will be virtual here on Facebook. And it's Fort Hood again coming on over to talk to us about some endangered birds in the area. So lots and lots of fun activities coming up. And of course, we have Warren coming up every month. If astronomy is your thing, make sure that you check out these, and then go to the planetarium. And it's usually the Saturday after we have these, and go see the sky and the things you can't see, because he'll show you beyond our horizons. And that's, to me, the coolest thing ever. So,
Oh,
all
And
right.
make
guys,
up a lot of stuff.
just one more quick question from the chat. Do you, Warren, do you know the name of the particular app that you have on your phone for the astronomy app?
Okay, it is Sky Safari Pro. It's a cost. It has you got to pay for it, but it's the one I use. Sky, SKY, Safari, SAFARI, Pro, PRO. And I've
I
used
wonder,
it for many years, and it keeps updating with more stuff all on it.
since you've got the Pro, I wonder if there's a free version of Sky Safari without
Yes,
paying.
there's this, I think, offhand, I can think there's either 4 or 5, you want to call them levels of Sky Safari. There's the very basic. You can start with that. And then if you are interested and want a little more, then you can see, and it's a good company. They keep it up to date. It's synced in with Universal Time. So, and they give you also notices every day of what's happening that day, that night. So a lot of information.
So that's where you get all your information from. We just thought you knew everything about everything in the universe, Warren.
Well, okay. So next
Just
month,
admit it.
then
You know it
you
all.
won't see
No.
me. We'll just run the app here and let it go.
All right. Well, you're
All right.
awesome. So, yeah, if we don't have any other questions, we're going to go ahead and go. And everyone, thank you so much. Thank you, Warren, once again for taking time out of your day to come do this with us. We really appreciate you doing this every month with us.
Okay. Final statement. The person who called in and asked the question about the planets, and then also wanted to know about my app. If you have a question, a problem, or something about the app, if you would call Cindy, could we have them call the library or
You
some, what kind of a
you can,
number? And
or if
then,
is it okay if we put your work email in the chat, warren.hart
yeah,
at ctcd.edu?
that actually the naked eye astronomer would be better.
Okay. Well,
That's
Alyssa
the
has the
email I would check.
email. Yeah,
Yeah.
Alyssa has the email. So if she can go ahead and put that in the chat, then we will go ahead and share that if you're okay with that.
Yeah,
and you guys can just, you've got your own personal astronomer to ask questions to.
yeah.
So,
And if you, I would give you my number, but I
no,
would say
that's a,
if
your
do
email's
it this
fine.
way, because if you try to call me and your number is not in my contact list, I have my phone set up. It will block the call and delete it. So I
Okay.
don't want to do that. But if we go and it's an initial text first, I can get the text. I'll see what the question is, who it is, and a phone number or whichever. Then we can get back and get in contact. And I'll be glad to help the person go through with Sky Safari, whatever level they have, to help them get the enjoyment and being able to go out and pick out different things in the sky.
Okay. And then if y'all have trouble with the email or whatever, you can always just call the library. Our phone number's on our website and we'll direct you to Warren. So we will get you in touch either way. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Glad to.
Yeah, Warren has a lot of fans on his astronomy here. So awesome, Warren. We
Okay.
our,
Enjoyed it.
our college our college is very glad to have you here. So
Thank you. Thank you.
So, all right, guys. Well, we will see you later, and you guys have an awesome day. We're so glad you're back on campus. It's so cool to see so many people back on campus. And as always, if you need something, go to our website and hit that Ask a Librarian. We will
Mhm.
answer you. So, all right. Well, everybody have a good day.
Bye bye.
Warren and
Mhm.
Alyssa, if you will take us out.